Hey there, dipshits, it's me, Joey, aka Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle Eagle. We're
Older and Dumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew, be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
So dipshits, mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. Now my stand. Fade to black.
Wow, I'm surprised she hasn't said anything yet. Anyway, that was fun.
May believes in the underpants gnomes.
Yeah, and they build cities with our undergarments. I actually don't even know about that. May, have you seen the Gnomes movie? Is that what you believe?
You mean trolls?
No, Gnomes.
Underpants gnome is
Actually, sorry, it's not called Gnomes. It's called Romeo and Juliet. That's my bad.
Nomeo and Juliet.
Sorry, Nomeo and Juliet. Sorry, brother. Slice me. I'm sorry.
It's like an early 2010 animated movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About yard gnomes.
Yeah, and they're like alive.
But the underpants gnomes are from a South Park episode.
Oh, how does May know
they're
South
stealing
Park?
Tweak's underwear.
Oh, man, what was that, like an early season?
Yeah, season. It was probably like 4 or 5, because it was when Kenny was dead.
Oh, okay, yeah. Man, remember when Kenny was dead? Oh my God, for GLT, we should pick one of the like 4-part South Park story specials and do one of those. Oh, that'd be funny as shit. Holy crap. Oh, speaking of D&D, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Your campaign. What?
Nah, it's not gonna fire.
What? Why not?
Because somebody will be busy.
Oh, God. This guy never has faith.
I've come to realize the truth.
I know that you could never be a priest because you don't have any faith.
Damn.
Could never be a religious man because you have no faith.
You know what? Damien Karras in The Exorcist, he had lost his faith, but in the end, it was him who saved Reagan, and not Father Manning, who had faith.
What movie?
The Exorcist.
Haven't seen it.
You wouldn't.
Nope.
He doesn't watch horror movies.
Yeah,
except for every other piece of horror content that's come out in the last 10 years.
I don't like scary movies.
Except for all of them.
Except for
probably
all the other ones.
You actually
I like
probably-
thrillers, okay? I don't like real life horror movies.
Poltergeist, stereotypical thriller.
I have not seen
I
Poltergeist.
thought you said you saw.
No, I haven't seen Poltergeist. I know what Poltergeist is, but I haven't seen
You'd probably
Poltergeist.
be able. Poltergeist isn't really scary. It's just sort of a good
I've
story.
seen it through the remakes on Family Guy, Cleveland Show, American Dad.
Yeah, so you already know all the.
Yeah, I already know all about it. I already know the whole plot.
They can't keep letting Steve McFarlane get away with
Seth.
this.
Bro,
MacFarlane.
Seth
Seth
is
MacFarlane.
Steve
McFarlane.
Steve McFarlane.
Oh my God, if his name was Steve, it'd be a whole different person.
I don't know, I kind of feel like an idiot sometimes. Although I am an idiot, so it kind of works out.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur. Put that cookie down now!
That is the most real, authentic, hysterical laugh of my entire life because that is not a plan.
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
I don't know. The Exorcist is just, it's kind of gross.
Yeah. You know what did I see that was like The Exorcist?
A lot of canned
but
goods getting thrown at people
Yeah.
out of a dummy.
Oh. I can't remember what movie I've seen that's like the Poltergeist, but not Poltergeist, The Exorcist, but the only thing I'm thinking of right now as I think of The Exorcist is Legion with Paul Bettany.
Not at all.
I don't
Legion's
know why.
like an action movie.
Yeah, but it's like thriller too. I mean, you got that old lady who's like, "Shut the fuck up, you bitch." Yeah. And then Priests, which also is an action movie, a horror action
more
movie.
Of an action movie.
There's another. I can't think. Like, I knew that I wasn't going to say the movie I was thinking of. I just needed to get those off my chest. But
Quiet Place.
there. No, I haven't seen A Quiet Place. I really want to. I want to see A
You
Quiet
probably
Place.
would like
Would like Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also really like
Krasinski.
Yeah, Krasinski. I like John Krasinski a lot.
And it's aliens.
It is aliens, and I like aliens.
The first one's really good because you don't really see any of the aliens.
It's like right at the
second
end,
one's
right?
like, let's go whole hand.
I would
with
say
the
there's
CGI.
tons of aliens in the second one, right? Yeah. I do really want to watch. I haven't seen it, which is kind of why, like, for this year for Halloween Horror Nights, I'm excited to do that house.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is gonna be awesome. I have never.
Wait, fast
that-
forward
this
until
is the
October, May, when all of these have been canceled.
This is the first time that I've been like, oh man, I really want to do that haunted house. Well, I mean, there was The Last of Us,
all
but
of
even
these are
that
gonna
was.
be canceled. There's gonna be one.
But Ghostbusters would be cool. There'll only be one. But I mean, this is probably the first year that there's enough houses that I'm like, okay, yeah, all right.
We get Beetlejuice again.
I don't want to do it again. There's no way it's gonna be not the same, right?
No, it's gonna be Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, the new Beetlejuice, right? Oh my god, is that out yet?
It comes out this summer.
Comes out this summer. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. It's got him again.
It's Michael.
It's got everyone.
Michael Keaton,
It's the
Winona
same
Ryder.
cast, right?
Yeah,
and then
but they're adding Jenna Ortega,
yeah.
right? Yeah, she's the new kid.
I think,
yeah.
There's a couple of cast members that didn't return because I think they've passed away now. But most of the
Is
original
Michael
cast
Keaton
is
too
back.
old to be Beetlejuice? No, you don't
Bro,
think
if you
Beetlejuice
watch
is
the
very-
trailers yet, it's so funny.
I
He
haven't.
looks the same.
Yeah,
How
he
old
looks
is-
exactly
exactly
the
the
same.
How old is Michael Keaton now?
Old.
I think he's like close to 60, probably.
He's older than 60.
Really? I don't think he is.
He's older than 60. There's no way he's 60.
I'm gonna. You think he's less than
You think
60?
he was in
He's over
his?
60?
You think he was in his 30s when he was doing the original Batman?
Yes.
Okay, so he's probably in his 70s then.
There's
Damn,
no
that would
way
be
he's in his
old.
60. He's 72.
Wow! Holy shit, Michael
Yeah.
Keaton's old. Wow.
He still looks good.
Yeah, he does. That's why I'm even more surprised.
Like, was it last year the Flash movie was out where
And he was Batman again.
Yeah, I never would have thought he was in his
I never
70s.
watched that movie because
But I just know from the trailers. Yeah, I didn't watch the movie. Either, but you see him in the trailers.
Yes, yeah. Wasn't Michael Keaton nipple Batman?
No, that was Clooney.
Oh, Clooney was nipple Batman. Okay.
Michael Keaton was the other really good one.
Yeah.
Right. My favorites are probably Michael Keaton and Christian Bale, probably for Batman's.
Robert Pattinson's so good.
I know you say
He's
like,
so
it
good.
was good. I'm not the movie.
so
Did you ever
good.
watch
What
it
about
yet?
Kevin Conroy?
Okay, that's animated
I
Batman.
don't li-
We're talking
I
live
think
action.
I like
Batman.
Robert Pattinson more than I like Christian Bale.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Not
don't
more
know
than
about
Keaton because I
that.
don't think I could like one more than Keaton. Or I'm not counting animated because obviously it's Kevin
Yeah,
Conroy. But I'm saying.
Did you
from
watch
live
it yet?
action.
After we had always had these discussions,
really
you still haven't
good.
watched it yet?
I think he plays both
It is
sides of Batman better than all the other ones.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
No.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson does not play good
Yeah,
Bruce Wayne.
I think he plays a way better Bruce Wayne and also
Christian Bale is best Bruce Wayne for sure.
Christian Bale's Batman.
But
I like
it was good.
I like
The
Bruce
Batman was good.
Wayne. Like I like Batman's very stoic and like serious, and then Bruce Wayne a little cockier.
Yeah.
because you get the juxtaposition.
That's Christian Bale. I felt was a really good cocky Bruce Wayne.
I also liked it because it was first year Bat. Like they didn't do like.
He's been doing it a while. It's the I just started.
Well, it's like within the first couple of years. It's early Batman. They didn't do like his whole setup story or anything like that. Like
He doesn't have a
Batman,
main villain yet. You know.
But like this is like the first couple of years of him being in superhero. Which
When you get a chance, it's good. It's quite good. But it's not like the best movie ever. Like it's wow. Good addition to the world.
Also,
Where-
Catwoman in this movie.
boy.
Oh my god.
now we know.
It's
why,
not that
now
good.
we know why
God.
Pattinson is his favorite Batman.
Oh my god.
Not that good.
Have you seen her?
Yes.
What do you think about Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn, and Joker 2?
It's, you know, I don't know. I can't be mad at Lady Gaga, but like, I didn't watch that other movie that she was a main role in yet, so I can't attest
Wasn't that
to how
movie
good
about,
her acting
Wasn't that
is.
movie about her?
It wasn't
It was
about her, but
like
it was
a movie based on her life.
about but not
And
because
then
she was a country singer.
She was
Right.
in,
It was like a story written about her life, but not like.
Hi, it's me, May. I'm not even done editing the episode yet, but I got so infuriated that I had to come over here and make this. I just got to the part where Carter was like, I'm pretty sure the movie with Lady Gaga where she's a country singer is based on a true story and also about Lady Gaga's life. And I'm here to inform everyone listening that that is a straight up fucking lie. The original A Star is Born was made in 1976, And the entire thing, one, starred Barbara Streisand. Love her. If you haven't seen Beaches, you want to cry, go watch that. Anyway, back to where I was. Make believe. There's not even a single true fact in that movie. The people could have been based off of real people, but the story is totally fiction, not about Lady Gaga's life, not about anyone's life. Anyway, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And this has been Movie Fact Check with May. Bye.
American Horror Story.
Right, with
4?
where they were vampires.
Yeah.
Never mind. She was kind of good in that, but she didn't have. There wasn't a lot of scenes.
It wasn't
of
a
her, but
big
there
role.
was.
Yeah,
right.
She was in it a little bit.
But in the that one movie where she's a country singer, that was a main role. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that it was just her story of her life, but she changed pop
everything.
star to country star. She just changed the descriptors around.
It wasn't entirely her story, but it was close. I think. We'd have to look it up. I'm not even sure. You know who I bet would know? May, our editor.
The last week of May month.
I also think Batfleck was underrated. Ben
Affleck?
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. I'm like, what did you say?
Batfleck?
Batfleck. I think he was underrated Batman, but
he might have been the smartest Batman.
I think he
but he just
would've
wasn't
done good if he was given a proper chance.
Sure.
A movie or something instead of just
they didn't have 45 different
featuring
directions
him,
to take that movie in. And
Yeah. I mean, he
studio meddling, and then Joss Whedon being like, "What if we made every line a joke?"
He also didn't get his own movie.
He didn't, right? He was only in the
Batman
an extra to everyone else's
Superman
movie.
is a Batman. It's not.
He was the Nick Fury of the DC universe.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see him in his own.
What if we got a Nick Fury movie?
And we got Secret Invasion, and it was
No, not a show.
trash.
It was bad. But if we got just like a Samuel Jackson Nick Fury movie,
Samuel Jackson might be too old to do a Nick
it might be
Fury
a little
movie.
bit of this boy in the room.
Might have to get a young gun in there, like Childish
they
Gambino.
could do they could do like what they did with Will Smith. He just did a movie called
It was bad.
Genesis or
Yeah, it was
something,
bad.
where he was an old
He was young
like
himself.
military
And there was a clone
assassin
of
guy.
him.
He had to
They
kill
made a
us,
clone
yeah.
of him. He had to, and
And
it was a young him.
They
They had to kill
de-aged
each other.
digitally, and it
And
looked
yeah,
like he
they-
had Play-Doh on his face.
and they fought.
Because that's how digital de-aging always looks.
I don't know. Luke Skywalker looked okay.
No, I mean, they should have just used Sebastian.
They should have just used
Stan.
Sebastian Stan because he is Luke Skywalker.
I just don't understand.
What a great idea that would have been.
I just don't understand.
Oh man, do you think he wants to be Luke, or do you think he's like?
pretty sure he
"That's-
said he
no.
would
Yeah, I
do
think
it.
he said it. You
Said
see
he-
speaking of people that want to do stuff that aren't going to get to, the 40K show got canned.
No,
what?
Henry Cavill's thing. Oh,
When did
so
that happen?
fucking dumb.
Read the article like a week ago.
Why'd it get canned?
Apparently, the Amazon didn't
everybody's
like
scared.
the writing direction that it was going
Oh,
in.
so it
'cause
was
it's
going
dark
to be,
in, like-
it was going to be actually 40K.
Yeah, it was going to be 40K
Yeah.
probably,
Right.
which doesn't appeal to like the masses, but goddamn, would it have been cool to see?
Oh, it would have been awesome. Well, maybe that, and they're just putting a lot of money into Fallout right now too. So maybe they don't want to double down on
Which is
gaming
shit
shows.
canning everything else because they found their cash cow finally.
Man, that sucks to say. I don't know. Well, they're like, we already have a show with big armored people. We don't want to do another one.
They didn't even make that armor. I'm pretty sure they outsourced all the armor.
Right? You said every prop was made by some Fallout community,
yeah,
right?
It wasn't like it was all outsourced props and or armor and stuff.
Yeah. Still,
I wish they had done that with Lord of the Rings. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
more
Yeah.
shows should do
Well,
that.
we could have got a workshop, but we'll just 3D print everything.
It's good enough.
This is supposed
Speaking
to be.
of the Lord of the Rings, though, on a positive note, the new animated movie that's
I
coming
saw
out
it. It
looks
looks
like it's
really
going to be
good.
sick.
There's an animated movie coming
It's
out?
I forget.
The War of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, it's the War of the Rohirrim. It's animated by the same people who.
Is it set before The Ring or after The Ring?
What is it?
I think it's pre.
It's pre. It's like
Fellowship.
when Helm's Deep is formed.
Yeah.
It's like the battle that leads up to.
So
Helm's Deep.
before or after the new show?
After.
Way after.
So somewhere in between.
Because the show is based off of the glory of the, or at the end of the Andorians, like lifespan where they have to flee, and that was like hundreds and hundreds of years before now, because those eventually turned into Gondorians, and so that whole country didn't exist when the show
Man, when you guys talk about Lord of the Rings, I feel like I miss a lot.
You probably should
I used to
check
fall-
it out
I
at some
should probably
point.
watch it
It's
again.
really good. I used
I've
to
seen it.
Tell
I
you
just-
what, I'll watch the Batman if you watch the Lord of the Rings.
I used to watch
all
like,
of them, or just
Yeah.
the first one?
all of them.
I
That's
used-
the
Oh, that's
same
not-
runtime.
No, it's not.
I used to watch 4-hour like Lord of the Rings
Oh,
stuff
God.
to go to sleep.
I did that for Fallout because storyteller.
Mhm.
Speaking of shows, did you watch the newest episode yet? Or no?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
No spoilers.
Well, because he hasn't
I'm-
seen it at all yet. So
I'm
What?
mid
Act
on
like-
it.
yeah, I just have things about it to say, but it wasn't like an amazing episode, but it was good lore dump. But like,
I just want them to do
Yeah,
stuff.
it was kind of a nothing episode out of context of the series. I feel
but
like.
maybe the next episode will explain a little more. I don't know.
I
We'll
just
see.
want-
again,
present-
this is an issue with how they're doing their shows, but
I just
See
want a
there.
present time Star Wars.
What's present time for you?
I want the furthest we've gone in content. I want there to be stuff.
So present time is whatever the
Mandalorian?
furthest is.
No, Mandalorian's not present time.
no,
still.
it would be the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
oh, you
the-
want
I want
like
just
post
just want
that
like
Rise of Skywalker.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna get what three new movies soon.
Mm,
I don't know. Who knows?
That's
who
what they
knows?
said.
They'd like
just
to
like-
throw darts at boards and say these
I
are
just
coming
like-
out.
No, wait, isn't Ahsoka? No, Ahsoka's not
No,
after.
it's
That's
before.
same time period as.
But is it right
Mando.
before Rise
It's what
of
she's
Skywalker?
doing from the end of
Rebels.
Rebels up until after.
Well, what we believe will be Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
We don't know yet because has there even been a second season confirmed?
Of Ahsoka?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Hmm.
Probably.
I don't know. They love to say that there's another season coming and then
Supposed to be
not
getting a-
actually do anything.
We're supposed to get a Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
still in
that's
production.
happening.
Yeah.
No, I think there will be an Ahsoka movie because the end of the Mando end game for Mandoverse is the Thrawn movie,
Yeah.
Right.
which is like all of the
yeah.
characters in the Mandoverse up against Thrawn,
hmm
or at least most of the Mandoverse.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they confirmed Boba Fett because Tomorrow just canceled a bunch of appearances that he was
Oh,
supposed
really?
to do. So
Mm.
for filming,
You didn't get to go say hi to him last time we were around him, did you?
No.
We gotta make sure that happens.
But yeah,
Bring your helmets and shit.
Lord of the Rings is real good. I would totally be down to play Lord of the Rings D&D campaign at some point, but Rob
Rob would have to run.
Rob would have to run it
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, he definitely.
But
would
I
need
think
to
there's a
run
lot you can do with that world if you try to you give a little leniency to not being
strict to the books or anything.
to the exact timeline of what
Yeah.
happens
You can
because
do whatever. I loved Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War.
he played the
Those guys
games.
were-
He never even watched the movie.
I have watched.
Read the books.
I'm telling you, I've watched the movies, but it was so long ago. So I'm telling you, I don't.
what
I don't
was-
recognize.
This
anything
guy's
from
never
it.
even
what
read
was
the
the
Silmarillion.
what was the yeah you've never read the Silmarillion?
No, never.
You've never read the Tolkien's notes on what his next book would be
No.
that got transpired or what is it
Transpired.
no it's
Transcribed?
not transcribed into a book by his son.
Real fucking depressing.
It's really depressing.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's why he never actually wrote it.
Yeah, he
Because
was like, "This is
"Mm,
depressing."
All I know is the Lord of the
But,
Rings ended with all the elves going to heaven.
Not all of the elves,
Kind of,
but
yeah.
most of the elves.
What was the point of that?
What do you mean?
They sailed to the
Because
west.
magic is fading.
Magic is fading from the realm,
Yeah.
so they have to go to the far.
Why not
silver
bring the magic
shores.
back?
They can't.
They're not.
Why
They're
not?
not gods.
Not how-
The gods left.
Then why do they get to go to heaven?
I don't know.
because
Why
the-
did the gods leave
Because
Carathia?
the
Okay,
elven.
hold on. That's a different.
Okay, because
it's a
the-
totally different.
because the
one.
elven people are still a part of that godly
Son of a
race
bitch.
in some way. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I've redone the lore a little bit,
Mm.
but they still belong to that kingdom, which is basically heaven. But they're so far removed that they don't have godlike powers, but they can live forever and blah blah blah. So they're being accepted in one last time before heaven's we're closing. our
Aren't the
gates
elves
and
a
leaving.
step under what Gandalf? Gandalf's like an angel.
Gandalf's like an
Gandalf, the
angel,
Balrog.
yeah.
They're
They're called the
beings
the
are
blue wizards, the
are the actual heavenly choir of the
Yeah.
gods.
They're-
And then
they are
the
sent-
elves were the first race
They're
created.
basically
after
just
them.
sent from heaven to do specific tasks that will be there for long periods and stuff. Yeah, and the elves are a little far removed from that, but
Right, they're like the next rung down, and they were supposed to be like the shepherds of Middle Earth.
What, the elves?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And then men tried to fight God.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then orcs were born.
Damn. So there's just orcs, elves. No, wait. There's humans and dwarves and
Halflings.
and what else is there? Is there anything else?
Spider.
Yeah,
big
there's like a
booty
spider
bitches.
god that has like some things going on.
Dryad.
And
Oh yeah, they were in war. They were in Shadow War. Yeah.
Also, another reason why they left.
Oh,
is
right, the
because
Ents, yeah.
Sauron could never come back
Sauron.
to the form he once was, because like
Sauron.
he could always come back, but it was usually weaker than he was before, over and over and over.
And
again.
that he
now-
had poured such a big part of his soul into the ring.
Anyways. So like there's still like magical items and like there's still magic in the world. It's just like they're like Tom Bombadil's probably somewhere still, but like it's a lot.
You know,
It'd be
they
cool
say
to
that
do-
Tom Bombadil is the gods.
It'd be cool to do a world like a fantasy campaign where nobody had magic inherently. Like there's no spellcasters, but there are magic items. Like only magic items. No spellcasters. But items could cast spells. You know what I mean? Like that'd be kind of cool.
You would
Seems
have to
fun.
change attunement and like what items have attunement.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot more items that didn't require attunement. But
Or-
like the stuff that did
Or
require
like
attunement
one-time
would
use
be
items more.
yes, yeah, a lot more
Scrolls
one time.
and-
Oh yeah, a lot more scroll usage. Yeah, that could be fun.
Charges, wands, and staffs.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. I
And maybe
like
like the spell system for the wizard class would be like each night if you want to have spells tomorrow, you have to like take
Sacrifice a
time
goat.
and take time and money and to like write down these spells. Like you have to like
okay.
inscribe.
Well, I was saying is that there wouldn't be those classes anymore.
There is
Well, I'm
one.
just
Like
saying-
like
Aren't
wizard would
wizards
become
the ones that
like-
write and create the magic items.
Well, I was gonna say they wouldn't be called wizards anymore. Like time would turn them into just scholars. Like the class would be called
right.
scholar now, and they couldn't cast the spells, but they could find the magic to create
Well, I
scrolls
was thinking more
that
like
cast the
they
spells.
would have to make the scrolls.
That's what.
Like
yeah.
yeah, so they would have to have the materials and like the magic ink and stuff, but they would
And then like there wouldn't be sorcerers anymore. Maybe that would be something different. Turn that into a different class, and like there wouldn't be like there could be clerics and paladins, but they didn't have spellcasting anymore. They just sort of like were inherent. Like I don't know. I figure it out. We
holy
we'll-
magic is always wonky.
Yeah. You know, seeing as there's no gods anymore.
That sounds like something Fick did, probably.
I don't know. Everything comes down to Fick.
I'm
It's
just
always
saying,
that guy. He did everything.
He has that book that can change what
He
the
doesn't.
influence that gods have.
Thing's gone. Wait, what? That wasn't a book.
That was a book that we found in
Yeah, it's a scroll.
There was a large book you got, but it didn't influence what gods did. It was
Changing realities.
pretty much.
yeah, it was changing what like how much
You could
like
write something down and it would disappear from the world.
Like gods.
That's impossible. Why would they do
Mhm.
that?
yeah. Hunter was like, let me just write this in.
Would never. That's insane. Hi, I'm Hunter, and you're listening to the Older and Dumber podcast. What? What do you mean they can't see me drawing the logo with the wand? Podcast? You can't handle the podcast. Older and Dumber. It's in the podcast.
That's not the line, Hunter. You're supposed to be talking about how people can sub on Patreon for early episodes.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, yeah. We're going to be the best podcast. Believe it. Well, that's just great. It's Older and Dumber, man. It's Older and Dumber.
Hunter, no, stop. The line is, you can get access to exclusive content and behind the scenes. Now give me another one.
Exclusive? What do we do that's exclusive? Dipshit bots. Transform and roll out.
Luke, you are my dipshit.
Hunter, we've been here for 4 hours. Just tell people how they can become dipshits and sub on patreon.com/olderandumber. That's N-dumber, not and.
I love it when a podcast comes together. Speaking of characters that sort of, are seen as evil or are bad guys, we have a topic today.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have a topic.
Guys, I'm so sorry
Why?
that you didn't get to know who we are or hear about our weeks.
This week's all about villains, and we're the villains this week. Yeah.
Hunter didn't want to admit that he didn't get any roles. That's why he skips it now.
Oh my god. I thought we were having a great time, and you just ruined it. What is it?
I don't remember.
Do you know what it is?
It's villains.
Oh, Carter knows what it is.
Villains is just a word. That's not a topic.
It is just a word. You're right. We're sort of talking about the
Aren't words topics.
So villains is the but we're going to talk more than just villains. We're going to talk about, maybe what makes a villain. What's really the difference between a villain and just like a bad guy, or what really
just
is
because you're a bad guy
doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
And I say, Zangief, you are bad guy. But this does not mean you're bad guy.
What really is good and evil, all those kind of questions. So as we are already sort of approaching this, what is the difference between a bad guy and a villain? Both are a bad guy. That's the bad guy. But what's the real difference between just a bad guy and a villain? What's your opinion?
Villains have a more grandiose motive behind their rudeness.
Sure.
And a bad guy is just rude.
Just rude.
Yeah.
No motivation, just rude.
Yeah.
Usually follows the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What you got?
Villains got swag. Bad guys are just villains that are too much of a coward to, have swag or presence.
Bad guys have swag sometimes.
I think Mega Man.
They're always like, my tortured past, I had it bad too, and that's why I'm a villain. Shut the fuck up.
Damn.
At least own it. Wear a cape or something.
Wear a cape or something.
Cut in the part from Mega Mind where he tells him that it's about tells Titan it's about presentation.
Yeah. It's about presentation.
You're a villain, all right. Just not a super one.
Yeah? What's the difference?
Presentation!
Like there's the scumbag vampire that's like, I'm gonna kill Lisa because she's a woman, and then there's Lord Cars who's like,
actually she's inferior
because she's a woman. And then he poses. He does a big flex and then he gets the little shiny marks, right? Because he knows how to present himself as a villain, whereas the scumbag vampire just gets his ass beat.
Okay. So we'll expand on that a little bit more. What really makes the villain a villain, or at least a good villain? One big thing that you've brought up is presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more than that? Or what exactly in your mind is just presentation?
So
same over there. So
aside from just, having a little pomp and spectacle, I think a good villain is a true rival to the hero in the story.
That'll bring up another question in a second. Keep going.
You have to have them be believable that they could win, even though storytelling mechanics, we all know that they won't win in the end, but you have to believe that they can.
90% of the time they don't win.
Right.
Or they don't win permanently.
Yeah. They can have a victory.
Yes. Sometimes multiple.
And it's believable.
What about you?
I feel like they have to have some vision of what they want, like some motivation, some like underlying like point. Like it doesn't need to be like in depth, like, yes, I was hurt deeply as a child. It can just be like, oh, I hate Joestars and everything they stand for.
I just hate them.
But it has to have like intent. Like a bad guy can just be like, I'm gonna kill everything, blah.
Sure.
But like a villain's like,
their motives have layers, like ogres.
Like an onion.
Like an onion has layers. And an ogre has layers. A good villain has layers.
A good villain has layers. A good villain has layers.
Sometimes
not just layers, but layers.
You're just a bisexual vampire
underneath
that
caves.
Wants to fuck.
Yeah.
But, that's your
sometimes
layer.
you're just All right, so here's another question, and brought up from something you said. Does a villain need a hero to be a villain? Or does a good villain need a hero to be a good villain?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you need the juxtaposition. Because we see fucking bad guys every fucking day, right?
Sure.
And their actions could be considered villainous. But we don't perceive them that way. We're just like, oh, that's a real piece of shit. You know, that politician X is a scumbag.
Sure.
Celebrity Y is a real piece of shit. They don't have that rival that shines the light on them to really make them pop as a villain.
So a villain,
right? They don't have that thing to rise them up to the next level to really, you know, shine as a villain.
Okay.
They're mundane
without
a hero to shine against.
Carter?
I agree.
Yeah. Totally. Okay. So then here's a question on that. Can a hero be a hero without a villain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So why is it a hero can be a hero without a villain present, but a villain can't really be a villain without a hero present?
Well, because there's always bad things for someone to stand and rise up against. Right. And that takes self-sacrifice, which is a heroic trait.
The tenets of a hero.
Right.
What are the tenets of a hero?
You know, you got to be selfless. You got to, you know, care about the well-being of others.
So selfless.
Brave in the face of danger.
Okay, there you go.
You have to be kind, I think.
You think that's one of them? Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Heroes do kindness.
Usually they're like good guys or gals, you know.
Yeah, not Lisa. She's inferior. Lacks warrior spirit.
Okay. All right. So a hero can be a hero without a villain, but a villain can't be a villain without a hero.
I think that's true.
Okay.
But I think a hero can be elevated by a good villain.
Push them to their limits.
Push them to their absolute limits.
Make them better. Because you always need that thing that's going to make you better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I agree. Yeah.
Is a villain always evil?
I think that villains they can start off with having a noble cause, but it's corrupted by their nature. So yeah, they might start from a position where they're not, like a Mr. Freeze.
And they might have good intentions.
Right. He's whole thing is like he's trying to help his wife and, you know, push this medical science forward, but he's become so consumed by it and so corrupted by it that even though he's still working towards that goal, he's doing evil to reach that goal.
Okay. So we don't believe that some villains can be good?
I think
like
that,
villains are always evil.
There are villains that are capable of doing good, but they've skewed on the alignment chart to evil. That doesn't mean they can't, you know, dip their toes back into neutral to do a good deed every once in a while.
Makes sense. That's why we have the redemption arc.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think bad guys are more inclined to the redemption arc though than
villains. Yes, which makes bad guys almost like heroes. And going back to the whole villains need a hero to really be villains. Do you think that our world could benefit from a hero?
There's a lot of heroes.
There's heroes every fucking day.
But
brother.
Remember 9/11
every day. Put an eagle on the screen, man. American flag.
Become a hero. Become a legend.
Well, like you were saying a second ago, there's bad guys in the world. It's like, oh, we see them as a bad guy, but we don't necessarily see them as a villain yet because there's not anyone to really shine that light on them. And like, there are heroes in the world. Let's not be
like you're saying. Would the world benefit from a superhero? No, I don't think so, because they would still have to go through like the bureaucracy and red tape to deal with the kind of real life villains that we see every day. Like that's not a thing. That's not a problem you can go in and punch.
Why not? So, okay. So do you think our world could have a true hero? Now, I'm not talking super powered hero. You know, there's people who are like heroes that weren't super powered, but they do what is right without any sort of hesitation and without any regard to their own life sometimes. But I don't know if we truly have that, let's call it beacon of hope or symbol of peace in the world, right?
Firefighters.
All right.
Play the ad, May.
All right. Come on, reel it in. Get to what I'm getting at. Could we realistically have someone like that in the world?
So I think those people, that put their life on the line every day,
Sure.
we get sort of desensitized to it.
Sure.
So we don't see them in that light.
Okay.
And also, like, if the media covered every time that firefighter Gonzalez got little girl's cat out of the tree,
Sure.
it wouldn't be news, so they wouldn't show it.
Okay.
But like those little deeds every day, those little acts of kindness are what make somebody a real hero.
Okay.
Not necessarily the big bombastic punch the villain, save the day. But we live in a world where those good stories don't sell. So the villainous heads of the corporations that are running things are like, well, if it bleeds, it leads. Get that hope shit out of here.
So what you might say is that in our world, in our society, the villain is almost always on top.
Yeah.
And heroes never really get seen. Interesting. And even in a world where superpowers aren't real.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If superpowers were real, though, that should be all over the news.
Oh, yeah. It'd be all over the
They'd be like, this guy knocked a building down and then caught it and put it back up.
Put a little glue on it. Done. Oh, God.
Is Spider-Man a menace?
Don't know.
You better buy a paper to find out.
Daily Bugle. I want pictures of Spider-Man. Carter, anything you have to say?
Did you know that Jonah Jameson sued Spider-Man after he revealed his identity for corporate fraud? Because he was taking pictures of himself and selling it to him, so he felt lied to. So he sued Spider-Man.
I mean,
sued Peter Parker.
Jonah Jameson, closest representation in media to a real life villain.
Really? You see J. Jonah Jameson as a villain?
I mean, most of the time.
Some runs.
There is the point in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies where the Green Goblin's like, who takes the pictures of Spider-Man? And J. Jonah stands up for him. He's like, I don't know.
They come in the mail.
They get mailed here.
Hmm.
So
he's got a little heart in
just
there.
because you're a bad guy.
I think in one of the one of the
guy.
runs, I don't know if it's the current run or one of the older runs, he did go through like that redemption arc where like he came to understand Spider-Man or whatever because his son had come back.
Oh yeah.
Like this whole like motivation is like his son is actually a hero and like this fucking guy that dresses up every day in tights, like he's getting all the
Is that
attention
where
and
his
praise.
son is engaged to Mary Jane, and they find out that his son's actually a werewolf after he comes
Maybe
back from the moon?
probably yeah.
Goddamn
Sounds right.
comics.
Goddamn comics.
So good.
All right. So, what is this? Feels like a bigger question. But what is good versus evil, and who is to say what is either?
Man, I'm gonna need you to put up the Dungeons and Dragons alignment chart on the screen.
Go ahead and put that right there, folks.
Wizards of the Coast has already told
Has
us,
answered this question.
Yeah. There is your skewing to law and chaos, order and chaos, and there is your skewing to good and evil, and then there's neutral, and you fit somewhere on that board.
Somewhere on that board. So you believe that Wizards of the Coast has answered this question many moons ago.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, not Wizards of the Coast. Gary Gygax and oh my God.
Sure.
Yeah, answered this question many moons ago, and it's the alignment chart.
TSR games.
All right.
Yeah.
Carter, you got an opinion here?
Anyone who self-sacrifices and, holds themselves to a code. To
That
protect
kind of sounds like a villain.
Villain can hold themselves to a code.
And have self-sacrifice.
That would fit into the lawful category on the alignment tree.
But skewed towards the good part of that alignment tree, yeah.
Oh. Because they're also
they have a moral
morally
obligation
just
to the public.
So we have the alignment chart.
Uh-huh.
But as we know,
Hunter doesn't understand the alignment chart because he has so many evil characters he perceives as good. So he just doesn't understand it.
That's the whole point I'm going to bring up, is that we know that there are evil characters that are good. So does the alignment chart really help us decide who is good and evil? Or is it still, we have the alignment of, this is how you align, but what perceives you, who chooses what good or evil is in reality? Because you have people who can be on the evil side of an alignment chart, but they do good things and they are good people.
If they have the intention of doing evil, good things for evil outcomes.
Yeah, for
and they are
nefarious
evil.
purposes. They're
the
donating
intent.
to charity. Like Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame, who's like, oh, I got to keep everybody pure, and I got to do all this stuff, and I'm a man of God in the church.
Sure.
Look at me and my fancy duds. I don't see how any woman could resist this.
He's got swag.
I'm going to sing a song about how I want this woman and she's tempting me to hell.
Sure. Okay.
And then I'm going to burn her at the stake and I'm going to blame Quasimodo for it.
Yeah, that happened.
Because I'm a good person.
All right. Okay. All right.
That's the intent.
Yeah.
But I mean, from his point of view, he's good.
Sure.
Okay.
But he's not doing it
Just
for good
because
intentions.
Sure.
You believe something in yourself doesn't mean that's what the majority of people will think.
So you believe what is good or evil is determined by the majority.
No. It's kind of hard to judge. You have to
that can be skewed by the media.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what are those things that we as people can truly use to define the good or evil when even the majority seems to be wrong?
You have to define somebody by their actions. And if you know their true actions and their true intent, then you can determine whether they are good or evil. Mm-hmm. And you have to try to see through the bullshit on the YouTube titles.
Don't see as they say, see as they do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Question
Go home right now. Google conspiracy theories and question.
They're putting chemicals in the water
The
to
birds
make the goddamn frogs gay.
The birds are cameras. They're watching you.
They're watching.
There's a reason they go on telephone lines. They have to charge.
Oh, that's good. All right. We've beaten that one to death, and we've got the whole villain angle now. We've got a grasp on the villain. Yes? Villainous. So now, how about we go ahead and just name off some good villains that we like within some categories? Let's start with some good super-powered villains. We'll start easy. What are some good...
Specifically superpowers or powers that could be construed as superhuman?
Interesting. Example.
Magneto is a supervillain.
Sure. And
Dio has powers that would be superhuman.
I would consider that superpowered. Both of those superpowered.
Okay. So anything that would be considered superhuman. Then.
Yes.
Beyond.
We'll go with that. Yes. Beyond
So,
human ability.
Okay.
Who are some good beyond human ability that are good villains. And why?
Dio.
You had to say it before he did.
I thought we were going to say it at the same time.
I was waiting for a different category for Dio.
Oh, okay.
I was going for the category of villains who fuck.
Was that one on the list? I don't have the list. So.
So I didn't tell him the list either, and I forgot to tell you to come up with so while we're talking, come up with a specified villain category as we go. He came up with one which says villains who fuck, so you'll come up with one, and I have a couple. So, but anyway. Continue with Dio.
No, I'm taking it off. So this is not the right list for Dio. Magneto.
Not the right list.
Magneto was what I was gonna say.
Oh my god! You guys have your own opinions. So why Magneto? Give us some info on the old.
So
Magneto.
I think Magneto is one of those characters that starts from an actual place. Like he had some pain and trauma in his past. Obviously,
went through the Holocaust.
Yes, they have that good rivalry where the juxtaposition of viewpoints, of how mutant kind should be led forward. Magneto has seen this horrible way that people treat people.
Yes,
when they're different.
So he's coming from a spot where I have to protect my own.
Good intentions,
and he gets to a point where he's just seen it fail over and over again, to the point where he's like, okay, I can't do this by the book. I have to do this my way. And my way is going to have to be through fear and tyranny. Because if, my people are going to be threatened, then I have to meet that threat with power.
Okay. Carter?
Probably Kaido.
Oh, interesting.
King of
It's a good one.
Beasts. Yeah, he's just cool because he wanted something his entire like career that he knew was impossible. So instead of like continuing to try to chase that because it was never going to happen, he decided to safeguard the next generation and be like, all right, I'm going to sit here and like whoever defeats me is the one that can do this because I can't.
That's what you believe Kaido's vision is?
Yeah, he was like, until I get defeated, no one's going to do that thing that I wanted to do. He wanted to be the strongest and he wanted to be the next king of the pirates, but like only Joy Boy could do that.
That's what makes him a good villain?
Yeah, I think he has cool motivations and like it's not like a good motivation. It's just like, you know, I'm just going to be the strongest and anybody else who can't defeat me is not worthy of like being king of the pirates. So I'm going to sit here in my little land of tyranny and have some fun kicking a bunch of new generation's asses.
Throwing part raves.
Yeah. And also, like, near the end, he was so fed up because there was no one stronger than him. He just, like, kept trying to kill himself. So, like, by jumping off of sky islands and
yes,
getting arrested over and over again.
Very much did that. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll go with Darth Vader. He's pretty superhuman.
The villain
of
modern media.
Pretty much, right? Yeah, I mean, he's sort of the symbol of villain, basically. Yeah. Like, you know, you go to someone and say, hey, who's a villain? Probably 8 out of 10 times they're going to just say Darth Vader, you know, or whatever big movie blockbuster villain has out right there at the moment. But, but most of the time, they're probably going to just say Darth Vader. And, I mean, we all really know why Darth Vader's a good villain. I mean, he's just encompassing of like evil, but not just evil, but like
he's got some pomp.
He's got pomp. He has intentions. He has motivation. He has all of those things that make a villain great. You know, great in a sense that like they're not a hero, but great, you know,
grating like sand.
He instills fear and
intimidation.
Respect.
The instant you see him,
he's got some sass too.
He has presence. He has swag.
Stank.
When
he's got it all.
His generals are like, oh, you know, maybe if we blah, 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 and he just starts choking them like across the galaxy.
Yeah, like through the VidCom.
And the guy next to him's like,
So Darth Vader, real fucking good villain. All right, let's head on to the next category here. Villains who don't have special abilities or powers that make them beyond greater than the normal person. A non-powered villain.
Lex Luthor.
Damn it! All right, I guess
I
didn't make that specific enough. So I guess Lex Luthor's fine.
I was gonna say rich villains, and
that is one of the categories. But
okay.
I mean,
well,
still,
I'm not gonna have time to get the rich.
No, we're not. But
it's
still,
an interesting contrast because like the two main hero and villains of that universe are like opposite flips of each other.
Yeah,
like super powered hero, non-powered villain, and super powered villains and non-powered hero. So I think that's pretty cool, and he's got a lot of swag. He gets those
does have a lot of swag.
Yeah,
I do like in Lex Luthor's original origin, the whole reason that he's like a rival to Superman is because Superman made him lose his hair.
That's funny. Did not know that. Joey, non-powered villain.
Man, there's a bunch.
I like the ones that like fuck with the hero's head.
Yeah,
that's like
Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
That's a great one. It's a good villain.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
There's a guy that demands respect and fear, because like up to that point in the series too, like Walt and Jesse had been dealing with like cartel guys and stuff who were fucking crazy and scary and like,
but not intent, like
right. And then you get to Gus and he's so intense and like he's just got this presence about him of
everything he does
and
have
control.
intention.
Yeah, and like you just you felt like fear in the situation when they were dealing with like Tuco and those guys. When they start dealing with Gus, the series is just like tense all the time because you don't know when he's gonna like do something.
Yeah. Okay. Non-powered villain for me would be Jim Moriarty from Sherlock series.
Because he's been watching.
I have been watching it, yes, so it made me bring it, but also inspiration.
Because he's anti-Sherlock.
Yes, he's anti-Sherlock, but he is a villain who a lot of the times when you look at a villain, what makes him good, is the whole they had good intentions, but then they're consumed by it. Like that's how they've got those motivations that like seem clear cut, But Jim Moriarty has batshit insane motivations, but it's still like holy fuck, like that's a good villain. It's crazy. Jim Moriarty, he became Sherlock's enemy, not just because Sherlock is a detective and he hunts people down. Oh man, he's gonna get me. No, Jim Moriarty did whatever the hell he wanted. No one could ever touch him whatsoever. But Sherlock was different. He's smart. He's interesting. Jim Moriarty was bored and finally wasn't bored anymore. And that's why he became Sherlock's, biggest enemy. So Jim Moriarty is just this insane villain who's untouchable, but he's just good because he has these motivations that make no sense, but still make him a formidable foe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was only 4 minutes long. Okay, next category. I think we can get one more in here. You said villains that fuck.
Yeah,
that's Dio.
Darth Maul definitely fucks.
You think Darth Maul fucks, bro?
Yeah.
I actually don't think Darth Maul fucks.
Darth Maul fucks.
Why do you think Darth Maul fucks?
He's a horny boy.
All right, fine. He can have it. Even if he's wrong, he can have it. Joey, go ahead.
Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Nice.
He fucks. He's got that open trench coat look.
Nice.
An open trench coat, no shirt.
Okay.
The long blonde mullet. Yeah.
Magneto fucks.
The fucking sexual
Magneto
tension
fucks.
between Liquid and everyone in the cast.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And he's like, look.
Odd Job from James Bond fucks.
Yeah. I think Jaws.
Jaws
fucks. Jaws
yeah.
the shark.
Jaws
canonically,
from
James Bond.
He gets married.
Okay.
Yeah.
An easy one, Poison Ivy. I think Poison Ivy fucks.
Oh yeah, and Harley.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Together.
Yeah, all at the same time. Yeah. Pretty easy one. Did you come up with a specified category?
Crazy villains.
Crazy, just villains that are just sort of
Unhinged.
psycho. Unhinged villains.
Joker.
Sure, that's a good one. The unhinged
villain that is the archetype for all unhinged villains.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The guy from Split.
The guy from Split. The guy
James
from
McAvoy's
Split.
character in Glass.
Sure. Yeah, that's a pretty
whatever
insane,
that movie was.
insane villain.
Split villain or Glass.
The same guy from Split.
Yeah, the same guy from Split. I mean, a different guy usually, depending on the time.
Depending on what mood he's in.
Right.
Idiot. God. Psycho villain.
Psycho killer.
Seems like there's a lot out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like, what's a good one? Not just like,
the Ying from Ying from
son
Psych.
of a bitch. Yin and Yang
from Psych.
Yin and Yang
Did
from
they have
Psych.
multiple personality disorder?
No.
So it's two people
It's two
technically.
teacher. It's like
So-
teacher and
Yeah, Yin is the teacher, Yang is the student. So
like the big reoccurring
like bad guy.
Bad guy in
Yeah.
Psych.
So Yang is the student, Yin's the teacher, and what it was is that Yin was Yang's father, and for all this time he raised her to be a fucking serial killer basically, but they're really really good at it. Okay, but Yang falls in love with the character of Psych, the main character. She falls in love with Sean, but she's batshit crazy. But she also fell in love with him when he was a kid, so it even was weirder
because she knew
Was
his
she
potential.
also a kid?
Huh?
Was she also
No.
like a kid?
No, she was older. She was like he was like 12 and she was like
It's a real
almost 30.
Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter vibes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's been watching him as a kid, and Yang had been killing since then, still blah blah blah. And then when Sean started being a psychic detective, Yang decided to come back out and get closer to Sean. And then eventually Sean was the only person she ever gave up to because she loved him. And then Yin later on, even more psychopathic father, starts coming after Sean again with a new student, new student doesn't work out, but Yang helps to defeat Yin as well. But he literally has no purpose other than to kill. Like, that's his motivation.
But
they're
pretty psychotic, yes.
Yes. So it's like, even like during because he has Sean at like syringe point, he's gonna poison him or whatever. Isn't this where you're supposed to give me your monologue and why you're evil and blah 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 blah? And he's like, no, I don't have a story. I wanted to kill, so I killed.
Damn.
That's it. There's nothing to it, nothing special, no storybook tale. I just wanted to. So yeah, pretty psychotic. It's a good one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Get us out of here.
I didn't get
Hunter.
to do mine.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Joey has one more.
Jinx.
She's not a
villain. What? You don't think Jinx is a
Specifically
villain?
from Arcane?
She's just confused.
I think she.
I think that argument went out the window when she fires the rocket at the end.
Doesn't
of season 1.
in League lore, doesn't she chill out a little bit?
No.
She's always evil.
Always
always chasing
crazy.
her.
She is 100% chaos all the time.
Oh yeah, big time chaos.
And actually, like, her portrayal in Arcane is toned down from her lore in the game.
Nice.
So, but it is an interesting progression from sweet, wholesome, innocent little kid to psychotic terrorist.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, we are just about to end. I just want to ask this one and see if you guys have an answer to it. A good villain that didn't use weapons. Do either of you, or can we name a good villain that didn't use weapons?
Magneto.
All right, come on. His ability is a weapon.
Oh, now we're gonna get real specific.
All right, come on, fucker.
Wreck-It
U.S.
Ralph.
government.
Wreck-It Ralph is not a villain.
He is. He's the villain of his own game, Wreck-It Ralph.
All right, fine. We'll accept it. A villain that doesn't use weapons.
American healthcare system.
Oh, not an idea. A person.
Professor Chaos.
Oh, he has superpowers.
I don't know.
Professor Chaos has superpowers. Butters does not.
What's that Marvel character's name that's in Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier?
No, the brain, the computer hive mind.
Dr.
What was his name? It was Mad. What was the supervillain name? He was an actual character.
Ultron?
No, what?
That's why I'm confused.
The computer, like, on the face, right?
Yeah.
It's like Dr. Zarloff.
Yeah, but that's not like what the character's name is. Like the supervillain name that he's portraying is.
Yeah. Modus.
Modus. Yeah, I think it's Modus.
Modus is the one from 76.
No.
That's the face on a monitor.
That is the face on a monitor in 76. You are correct. It's the Enclave.
Right, anyways.
Well,
Enclave,
tell us in the
pretty decent
comments.
villains. Yeah, tell us your villains in the comments.
Yeah, tell us your
guys.
favorite villains in the comments. Even your answers to some of the categories we came up with. Give us your answers. All right, Carter, get us out of here.
Did you know that every Wednesday night at around 8 o'clock we play Starfinder on Melia's stream?
Melia.
Yeah, there's villains in that.
A lot of villains in that.
Every Friday we have the podcast. That's crazy. You're here.
What?
Gaslight Theater is, like when we have
It's coming. I
time.
talked to May today. She says it'll be out by the end of May month.
By end
Nice.
of May month. So right now.
Yeah. You should be
Yeah.
able to watch
should
the
watch
newest
it right
episode,
now.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
May was here.
She was.
Yes.
That happened.
We stream occasionally.
She left it for May month on purpose
Keep
because
a
she
look-
was in it.
Keep a lookout on socials for streaming because we do that occasionally.
I did it today.
Joey, where
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I saw. Where can you find all of those things?
Everywhere on the internet at OlderNDumber. That's older, the letter N, dumber. Find us on most social media platforms, YouTube, everywhere that you listen to Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. If you want to support us, you can do so. We have a Patreon for as low as $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee from your favorite coffee place. You can support us, help us get us to shows near you, and make the podcast better.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Older and Dumber, the podcast about three dumb friends just trying to make it on this planet we call Earth. Thank you all so much. You dipshits are fantastic. And remember, this is all the studio area is possible because of Checkpoint Lounge, our great sponsors.
Lounge.
We got to make another one that's like, da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to put in the comments, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We love you, and we will see you
Next time.
next week.
Whoa.